Okay, hi again to everybody. We will now go on with our training, and we will try to do an exercise using the SDM application. And we will create a complete flow for a message coming from an ERP flowing through the SDM and creating a reply that will be dispatched back to the ERP. So in this case, we are using our web API listener for the incoming message, the standard handler for host messages. So we will use a ship inch message, and a response. The response will be sent using a dispatcher to a RabbitMQ queue that in this case represent the host. So this exercise will cover also Rabbit. So this schema is a bit more readable. A web API on that you will be hosting on your computer, running the SDM application on your computer in debug mode, and connected to the DB that you should have restored on your computer in SQL Server 2019. And then the queue instead, the dispatching queue, will be on our server. So I already sent the link in the chat. Anyway, this is the link, and the login is with admin and admin as user and password. If you go to the queues, you can already see the existing queues. These are for the APIs. We will not the backend for the Smile80. We will not check them, but we can see these queues that are for SDM, LGV Manager, and also these for the training. So at this point, we will start with the configuring an SSL certificate. This step is not mandatory, but in many environments it will be. What happens is that if you want to listen with the web API listener on a protected connection, you have to do this. So maybe many of you already did this operation. So I will do it as well. I will demonstrate this on a server. So the first step you have to do is to execute MMC. So you have to do run and open MMC or mmc.exe. And then you need to add a snap-in. With certificates, add computer account, local computer, and then you confirm. I'll show you the slide. So please follow these instructions. If somebody has problem, please stop me.
Where did you click for a head snap-in?
Add snap-in?
Yes.
File, add or remove snap-in.
Okay.
Okay, and then after?
Certificates,
Okay.
double click or add, and then you choose a computer account or my computer, local computer, depends on the version. And local computer again. Okay. Now I have it twice, but it's the same. Okay, then you can go in on certificates, personal, again certificates. You will have a list of certificates here. You should pick one that has the key icon aside of it. And do right click properties. Sorry, double click on the certificate. At this point, in the details, you will find a thumbprint. It's the last field. If Windows is in Italian, it's called identificazione personale. Keep it open and maybe copy with the double click right and Ctrl+C, copy this text because we will need it to bind it to a port. So the next step is to execute this script that I will put in the chat. So the only part that you have to change is what follows the cert hash. So I put 3 X's in the script I copied in the chat. You will have to replace the 3 X's with the certificate hash. Pay attention not to other characters that can be copied at the end of this number. So that string has to be used in the PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. So you paste the string here. You paste also the certificate hash from the certificate thumbprint or identificazione personale. It's not important which certificate you are using because this is just for a testing purpose. And then you can execute the script. If you get error, maybe you have to run PowerShell as administrator.
Exactly.
So right click, run as administrator. As you can see in the script, I have chosen a port that is 43111. Just a random port. Somebody has been able to do this?
Yes, I did this, but I don't know how to know if the certificate was added.
So it should print after the command, it should print something like this, SSL certificate successfully added.
Okay, I have this.
Okay.
I did as well.
Okay.
Well, you take the app ID number.
The app ID, yeah, good question. It's not important. So this is just a random GUID. So you can keep this one because it's not necessary for this purpose. So I think I can move on to the next step.
1 second, please.
Yes.
I'm getting an error. I'm going to paste it.
Okay. Are you using PowerShell or CMD?
PowerShell.
Okay.
Just in a production environment, are we expecting all those configurations to be done by the customer IT department?
Yes, this is possible. So if some has problem on this, we can also go on and maybe that person does simply a HTTP test. But for working with this in the exercise, it's necessary to, if we want to do HTTPS, it's necessary to do this part. So about Dennis error, honestly, I don't know what it can be the problem. So we will see how to add how to use the HTTP version for well problems with SSL. Maybe the problem is that you didn't copy the correct hash from the identificazione personale or thumbprint.
Okay, I will check later, no problem.
Okay. So I move on. You can connect to Rabbit. I sent the link a few minutes ago. At this point, you should go like shown in the slide, in the queues tab. Then you create a name that should be WMS-2-host-your surname. So for example, queue, at the bottom there is add new queue.
Francesco, maybe you already said, but what is the credentials that we should use for
It's
the Rabbit?
admin, user and password.
Thank you.
So I seen somebody did already a queue. I'm creating it. Pay attention. Do a quorum queue. So Bianchi did a classic one. This will not work. Also, this is something that has to be done only if working with Rabbit. So typically the host will not be on Rabbit and queue. So you can go in the queue, delete and recreate with the type quorum. Okay, I see we have some queues.
Mi sono perso. Io
So with
dov'è la new queue?
having problems, do queues and scroll down.
Ho visto adesso, grazie.
Add new queue.
Cos'è classic?
Quorum as type.
Quorum?
Yes. And then the name, like the other ones you see here, WMS to host. No arguments. You can do add queue. Then you copy. You should also remember that name. Copy it. For example, you can go inside the queue and copy it easily.
And are any arguments are required?
No arguments. Okay, so you enter your own queue and you select the name, right click, copy, or as you prefer, because we will need it again, as it's indicated in the slides. Because we have to create also an exchange. So somebody need the help, you can stop me. So go in the exchanges, and it's very similar. You scroll down, there is add new exchange. You put again the same name. You don't need to change anything else. and you do add exchange. So only the name and add exchange. Finally, for Rabbit, you enter your exchange and it has to be bound to the queue. So, for example, exchanges, you choose your, and you go in bindings. To queue is okay. You paste again the name. No routing, no arguments, that's all fine. And you do bind with this button. Then you will see this that this exchange is bound to this, that is a queue. Okay, can I go on? If somebody has problem, please tell. So at this point, we should simply configure the handler on the database. So please open Management Studio and connect to your database where you have SDMDB. Then you should execute these scripts. We have sent them to you in email previously. I can give this to you again if for convenience. And maybe somebody, I don't know, somebody didn't receive that one. But yeah, this was received, I think, by everybody today. So it's in this file. Okay, the steps are these ones. So update the configuration handler to enable it. This is a default predefined and it has ID 101. It is the handler for the host. So if you read also from the table, you will see it is the one that processes the host messages. So I will update it on my computer, on my server, SQL Server. So now it's enabled. Then I insert the listener. So I check that I don't have it. So this is the script you should have. It is on 127.001 with the port 43111. For the people who had a problem with the certificate binding, instead of writing HTTPS, just remove the S and do HTTP, etc. So this will create a binding. Sorry, a listener. You see that the handler is 101. That is the one that we have enabled. And then also the dispatcher with the script. So okay, there is yeah. At this point, you have created listener, handler, and dispatcher.
Could you please share the script on the chat?
Yes. Sorry, this is not. Okay, I think you have copied and executed the script. At this point, we can move on. If somebody has no questions, we can move on to the next step. So the app config is already okay. So you can open the SDM application, the solution, I mean. You go in the WinForMost, you set it as startup project, like this. You open the app config file, and you only have to verify and fix actually the connection string with the correct data source. So it depends where you have installed the SQL Server 2019. So this is a local host, but instance name SQL 2019 in my case. You change it in the history now we don't need, but change it also in the history. And set the bug in the startup type. Then, if you scroll down to line 97 of this app config, you will see that there is a channel that is named to host training. Here, you should paste the queue name that you used in Rabbit for your private queue. In the outbound queue. So because we are using Rabbit only to send the message to an hypothetical host.
Sorry, Francesco, but there is nothing below transport system in our app in my app config. I know.
Are you in the Windows Service Host?
No, the WinForms actually. But I've copy and pasted the script, the ones that there is in script. So I don't know if. Wait.
Yes, it's this is okay. Actually, as user and password, you can also write clear admin if you, but it's okay. Also, this is encrypted.
Francesco, we don't have the entry to host training.
Exactly.
You pass an app config file without this entry, so we need all the entry.
Yeah. So okay, I paste this to you as well.
Thanks.
But it's very similar to the transport system. Please change the name of the outbound queue with your surname at the end. At this point, so fixing this and having the connection string pointing to the correct database, you can start the debugging. of the WMS WinForm host. Is somebody able to run WMS?
Me, but
Yeah.
my processes are not showing
Yes.
active, so
Yes,
I
this
believe
is normal. You have to do a thing that I think you already know.
in the active SDM.
Exactly, I put the script as well, but this is very short. So you set up the active SDM one. You should only have one. If there are 2 lines in the DB, maybe you have this one as well from the backup.
Now they
But-
look good.
Okay. So you should have an active one only in one machine name, that is your machine name. So at this point, if you also if you check what are the processes here, you should find one that is the HTTPS listener that we created. So if you have it and it has no errors, it should actually work. Does somebody have an error here, or is it all smooth? Okay. So at this point, the system is ready to process messages, receiving them in this listener. Sorry, somebody has a question. Okay. I don't know if you have downloaded Postman. That is a utility that can help you to send an XML. So did somebody was able to open Postman?
I was.
Okay, so you should create a new connection. So we can do it together. You click on the plus in the APIs, plus, you create a new one, and you choose post, because we are sending something. And you paste the address that is this one that is written in the slide, and also I sent to you in the chat right now. And you can send an XML message. So how to do this? Okay, I will paste. You have received the message as well in the email earlier today, but I will paste it in the chat as well. So what you do? You go in the body, you select row, and then XML, like this. And then you can paste what I wrote in the chat. Then we need to authorize, because if I send it now, I will get an unauthorized message from post. So the authorization, if you remember, we have seen it in the slide earlier. It is configured in the app config. It's this administrator standard 80. Put in the chat also these ones for your convenience, but What to do now? You choose authorization tab. You select basic authorization, basic out, administrator, and standard 80. And you can push send. So in my case, there was a breakpoint in the application. I received the XML message here. I go on.
I got a different error, unable to verify the first certificate,
Yes.
SSL error.
That's okay, because you have used a certificate that is not
So
trusted.
may
But it
may I
be...
disable
Yes.
the
Yes.
self-verification? That's it.
Exactly. Thanks for pointing out, because that is an option for Postman. So
Now I got to 200, so should
perfect.
work.
So in yeah, you get the response here below 200, as Federico said. Maybe somebody of you have an error. If you have, we can discuss. But what has happened, maybe the breakpoint was also in your file, because I sent you a zip of this. So probably you had the breakpoint too. You go on, and then the message should be processed. So if everything works fine, we go in Rabbit, we go in the queue, and I see some of you have been able to send to have the complete path work, because we see that in these queues there is one message pending for the host. This is mine, for example. And if I go inside the queue, I can also get the message content. And the message content will be probably an error. Yes, because the shipment already exists, I guess. In my case, if you had success, you had an MTDB. No, not enough data to processing delivery. Okay, this is a question of the content of the message, but it's not the point of our test. So we had an error, and it is the expected behavior. So we have sent a message on a web API. It has been received, put on a table. Now maybe I will show you a bit better what is the trip that our message has done. And then it has been processed by the handler for host messages. A reply has been created and queued to the ongoing queue and dispatched to the RabbitMQ dispatcher that we have configured. Okay, I guess many of you have had some problems in the process. If some want to have some verification, this is a good moment to try.
Me and
Yeah.
I don't see anything in the host incoming message, so I guess that the message has been processed somehow.
Okay.
Is there any history table where I can troubleshoot what happened?
Yes, if the history is properly running on your computer, you should have a historical host incoming message.
I was looking for history.
Yes, it's historical. This is the historical is part of a following module today.
Yes, in fact, I see some exception. I will paste in the chat. I can investigate in the stop procedure.
Okay. Yes, this error actually should. Yeah, sorry.
I see the XML is not well formatted, so there is a space between the lines. I don't know if this could affect.
Yeah, it's possible.
I will
Because I
retry.
pasted it in the chat and maybe it's there.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll retry with a better XML.
But I don't think that should have stopped the processing, because I've seen that others have completed it with the same XML.
No,
and
I
did it
believe
as
that
well.
the point is that the first time I paste, I didn't select
Okay.
XML in the Postman.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I retry.
I have the same error of Federico right now.
Yes, let me check also. So actually, this error is not should not be a problem, because you see I had also this error, but I was able to receive the reply. So probably you have something else that stopped. So it was you, Giovanni Benassi, that said you have the same error as Federico.
Yeah. Yes.
But I see that your queue has received the two host queue has received a message. So what happens?
Yes.
The ship ins message is arriving. It has a problem. It is produced an error reply, and it is dispatched correctly. For some reason, in the case of Federico, something else has stopped. So
I'm expecting.
you should
Okay.
check on table.
The host outgoing is empty in my case.
Okay.
So
Is this empty as well?
host outgoing, yes, it is. It's empty.
Do you have an historical for host outgoing?
Checking.
You have one error message in host outgoing.
Yes, I have 5 records in the historical, and the result code is 0, and I don't see any result text.
Yes, the same for me.
But my rabbit
Okay.
queue is empty.
Okay, so
Mm.
can you please check in the app config? You go at line where you put the two
Your
host
string.
training queue.
Okay, what in particular?
What name of the outbound queue you have?
WMS to host trap, so should be correct. And I did it. I put the only difference with your version is that in the user and password I put admin.
Okay.
And instead of leaving like it was, but I can restore your version if you can pay.
Yeah, in the meanwhile, I try.
I put the A in capital.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Pretty sure that it's a problem, yes, because it's RabbitMQ is not Windows based, so.
Okay, I retry.
Sorry, Francesco, I have lost, I'm not familiar with Postman. I have lost the part to send a message with Postman.
Yes, okay. So you have it open. Can you find on the left APIs?
Yes.
Click there, and then should have a plus button, probably not so on the right, but here somewhere. Do you have it?
Okay. I cancel the one I try to do.
Okay. If you have already one, you can also use that, because we can revise what
I use the one.
So what you have to set is the address here and the post method. So you say post and you put this address that I put in the chat before.
In the post, okay. What you have put in the chat before. Okay.
Yeah, it's before the XML. Just before the XML message. Yeah, in the meanwhile, trap queue has received the message.
Okay.
Okay, back to Matteo. Have you been able to set
Yes.
up the address here?
Yes.
Okay, then you should set up the authorization just below, selecting basic out.
Okay, administrator standard 80 already done.
Yeah, perfect. The ones set up in the app config. And then you move to body.
Okay.
Choose row instead of none as type here. And then XML from this list. Then you can paste the XML that I
Yes.
pasted in the
in the
chat, or you
top.
can also write a random.
And then I try with the send command.
Yes, also something like this as you prefer. Yeah.
Will not get a response.
Probably you have a breakpoint in the application, like me.
No, you have the application running and.
Okay. What's showing up, Postman, on below here?
So I'm looking. Oh, okay. Let's see. Any status? Where are you? API post.
Yeah, after you do send, you see you should have this. Okay, maybe I still
No,
have
because it could not get response.
Okay, if you don't get a response, probably your SDM is not listening correctly on the port. So, did you have problems with the certificate?
Yes, but I have cut the.
You removed the S. Also here, you removed the S. Yeah. So,
no.
okay, but probably you will get another error. But try. Then I will show you what's the point.
Try with another send. No, now send status 403 HTTPS required.
Exactly. HTTPS required is it is interesting because if now you can stop your application from debugging and go in this class that I am showing in my shared screen. No, sorry, it's in the. It's this one, sorry. E80 XML API controller. So under WMS integration, web API, E80 XML API controller. On the top here, you require HTTPS. If you comment it out and you start again with debugging, you will be able to use HTTP. Why we are doing this? Well, because basically from now on, most of the customer will require that all the connections are encrypted. So this is not is something that complicates a bit the setup, but we are trying to do our best. Most of the parts have actually internal Smile80 certificates that are created automatically during installation, as you've seen probably yesterday. Yeah, but this part being that it has to work with maybe a host that is external is a bit different.
Sorry, but I still have error. Now I have error 400 bad request.
So 400 bad request, it means probably that you have not set up XML here. Or the XML is not well formed. Or you have not chosen post.
No, I have choose post. XML was I have choose a row in the body. I have copy and paste from the chat.
Try to write a simple XML like this one. Still problems, Matteo?
I'm trying to find the simple XML.
Yeah, you can write it like this one in my screen.
No. Send 200, okay.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
check if also the other part is working for you. No, it's not arrived on the other side at the moment. So probably you will have some error if you check this table or the historical host configuration or the integration host outgoing message. So check on these tables that I pasted in the chat.
Nothing in this table.
Is the dispatcher on your application running correctly? It should be this one. Queue message dispatcher SDM to host RDMQ.
SDM to host underscore RDMQ. Yes, is running and active.
And so in this table, do you have something?
In the host outgoing message.
Yeah, one of these two.
Let me check the other one.
And please also, if they are empty, check the host incoming message.
Also empty. Check the other. All the table are empty.
Check please the host incoming message table.
Yes, it's empty.
Okay.
The three table integration historical of outgoing are empty and integration host incoming is empty. But I don't want to use the time of all the people. So.
Now just check on this if you want, but then we move we continue move on. If somebody has questions, then maybe if you are interested in solving, we can check another day.
Okay.
So by the way, what was the trip of our message? It was this one. So it was received by the listener that calls the queue that is configured on it. So let's see this way. We have the listener that calls enqueue procedure name, enqueue host inbound message. This procedure writes the messages in the host incoming message table, all in the integration schema. Then we have a handler that is triggered by the listener here. It's the 101 with ID 101. What does it do? It calls integration process host inbound messages. Sorry, this one. That if the message was correct, it was called the ship-ins processing procedure, producing a result that, if produced, is sent, written on the table host outgoing message by the procedure, this one, enqueue host outgoing message. And that procedure is called the enqueue host outgoing message by the process host inbound message automatically. And then we have the dispatcher that is triggered by this procedure as well when a message is written on this table. So the dispatcher that we see reads from this table. So as you've seen, this process is highly configurable. It involves some minimum of job to do it, but you will be provided with a guide that is already existing that shows you how to configure this integration with the host and eventually other type of integration with other software. So yeah, basically this is how it works. We are a bit long with this exercise since the problem that we had at the beginning with the solution not compiling. But we have time for some question if somebody has.
I have one, if possible.
Yes.
In the app config,
Yes.
in the part where we have the basic authentication user and password for incoming and outgoing.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just supported for only one host. And in some project, we could have multiple hosts, more than one.
Okay.
Likely before in SDM, we in the table, we have input we could configure multiple hosts and change the inbound password for in the case.
Yes. This is a good point. We will analyze that and possibly it could be a good idea to move it to the listener table.
Okay.
And in this case to the dispatcher table. Yeah, we will analyze because maybe there is another way, but I'm not aware of it at the moment. But I don't think so. So yeah, it could be it should be a good point. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Okay, so we can close here this module and we can move on to the next steps with my colleague Martino Bruno.